Welcome back for another top-notch video. This week, guys, we'll be talking about the week of 24 May through 28 May. As always, the top-notch channel is about the Thrift Savings Plan, the TSP. We talk about the C, S, I, and F fund. We also talk about Roth IRA, brokerage accounts. We talk about the ETFs, IVV, VXF, EFA, and AGG. What these tend to equal, guys, is the S&P 500 funds, small caps, international markets, and bonds. We cover all of these in a very general overview. We go over some charts, what things did for the week, and then we go over a very more specific technical analysis of these charts. If that interests you, please like, subscribe, or share. Really appreciate your guys' comments, and let's get started for the week. As always, we start with the TSP Talk website. This website kind of goes over the funds and what they did for the week. Definitely recommend you check them out. As you can see, for the week, we were up in all of our funds. The F, C, S, and I funds were all up for the week. This is the last week of May. And what did we see for the week of May? We did see the F and C funds up. S fund was down a little bit. And the I fund really shined or outperformed for the month of May with over 3.16% for the month, outperforming all our other funds. Again, that was EFA that was really outperforming for the month of May. That's kind of our general wrap up for the week. Let's move into our analysis. As always, on the TSP Talk website, they do some weekly analysis. Definitely check it out. Tommy does some great commentary. I just want to point out some general things before we go into our kind of technical analysis. For the S&P 500 or the C Fund IVV, what do we see? As you can see, we are above our moving averages for this chart, which is good for price up here. But one thing that is a little concerning to me here, as you can kind of see, we need to kind of get past this point here before charts can continue to rise. So just keep that in mind moving forward into the month of June. Really looking to get above that level to see this chart go up, and we'll show more in our technical analysis. On the next chart here, we have VXF, or this is small caps. This is going to be your S fund. What are we seeing here? One of the things that we saw is kind of like we had a large fall for the month of May. Small caps really came down here, came back up. We filled this open gap, which is a good thing for charts. We are above our moving averages here, but there's still this kind of bear-like flag in here that is still lingering. So we'll have to wait and see where things go for that. They mentioned that as well. Something just to be cautious about. We could see with a bear flag, this tend to break back down, but we'd like to see it get above this point here. That would be a V-shaped recovery for this, but keep that in mind for small caps. That's VXF moving forward. And we'll also talk about it in our technical analysis. As far as the I fund goes, really good month for May. Really came out of the dugout just hitting, guys. This fund really took off. On Friday of last week, we hit another home run. It was the highest closing high we've had in a while. Again, had a 3.61 performance for May. Excellent if you were in this fund. Did really well for the month of May. We'll talk about it more in our technical analysis. And last of all, we have bonds. Guys, look at bonds. Bonds is trying to make a comeback here. We are still below this trend line that they have drawn in here, so not doing very well here. Still below that 200-day moving average. Did get above the 50-day and 20-day, but the fact that these two are lower than our 200-day is not a very positive sign for bonds. Let's go ahead and move into our technical charts for what we see for each of our funds. First chart up, we're going to start with IVV, or the C Fund, S&P 500. Where do we stand? Where do we sit? This is FinViz, guys. We like these charts. Kind of shows a very broad overview of where things are going for this chart. As you can see, these trend lines have been drawn in here, guys, since November. A very long time. I mentioned that a lot. But we are bouncing back and forth between these trend lines. A general upward move that is good. We are still within those trend lines. We are above our moving averages, so that is a good sign there. But if we bring it over to our technical analysis chart, let's kind of see where we sit with charts on this fund. So again, this is IVV, S&P 500, or the C Fund. The two technical analysis we like to look at is the price percentage oscillator and the derivative oscillator. Derivative oscillator is going to be these red and green bars. When the green bars are going down into red, price tends to go down a little bit. Let's see if I can find you an example of that. See here, the derivative oscillator is going down into the red bars, price goes down. When the derivative oscillator goes up, price tends to go up. So that's our first indicator, what we like to look at as for charts. And our second indicator is the price percentage oscillator. What we see with that is the blue line and red line. When blue is above red, or our moving average, price tends to go up. When it crosses down below, price tends to go down. So those are our two indicators. We give you guys a stoplight like analysis of yellow, green, and red of where we should be with funds. So like I mentioned earlier, for IVV or the C fund, kind of right in the middle. We don't know if this is going to go up or down. We always like to trade the chart in front of us. This is the chart in front of us for this week. What are we seeing from our indicators? Our indicators are showing us that we don't have a very positive indicator on our long-term charts here, guys. This is the third week down, moving down on this chart for the derivative oscillator. Price percentage oscillator, that blue line is now below the red line. We can see a little bit of space there. That is not a good thing. Charts or price are kind of stagnant because our indicators are going down. This would be a red light not to get involved in IVV. We could see this possibly come back to hit the moving averages, or we could possibly see it come back and hit this blue line here moving forward for IVV. Would not get involved in that just quite yet for this fund. Let's look at it from a short-term analysis, short-term chart for the next week. What are we seeing? Also not positive signs here, guys. As you can see, the derivative oscillator is moving down. Not a really good place to get involved if you are outside funds right now. And the price percentage oscillator is above that, so that is a yellow light sign for the short-term charts for the weekly, just for this next week or two. But I still would not get involved on a yellow light. We're looking for that green light to get involved in IVV or the C fund. Moving forward, let's go into VXF. VXF small caps. What are we seeing with VXF? As you guys can see here, really saw a double top here in February all the way to May now. Kind of saw that double top on this chart. Not usually a positive sign. Usually double tops mean a pullback, and sure enough, in early May we saw that pullback come back. Like I mentioned earlier, now we're in this kind of bear-like flag. We're hoping this is a V-shaped recovery and it will take off again, but we don't have that just necessarily yet. Again, a very cautious chart here, but we're between our two lines here, the pink one up here and the blue one down here, above moving averages. That is positive, but we want to look at the chart in front of us. That is going to be this technical analysis chart. Let's take a look at that. Same indicators, guys. Weekly chart. What are we seeing here? Ooh, we are seeing a little bit of a positive sign here. As you can see, it was moving down. This oscillator was at negative 1.8 on the green there, then negative 2.3, and then negative 2.8. Now we're coming back to negative 2.5. Very positive sign for the derivative oscillator. That is very good. But before I get involved in this chart just yet, I'd like to see this price percentage oscillator get above this red line here. Price is starting to react a little bit here. That is positive. That's a good sign. This is a yellow light chart. This is a thing that these are the kind of charts you want to be looking at. Keep your eyes honed in on small caps in the next couple of weeks to see where things go with that. I have a good idea. All right, I have a very good feeling about this chart. As always, we'll trade the chart and follow in front of us, but I want to look at this chart moving forward. I think this is a better option than the S&P 500 moving forward. For the short-term charts, let's look at that really quick. As you can see, short-term charts, we don't really have a buy-in point just yet. Our oscillator's falling here. Price percentage oscillator's up here. This is short-term charts. This is the next week or so what we're looking at. Price is starting to react a little bit to that oscillator falling on Friday. I would wait to see if this would come back. If we can get it to come back to something like this or like this, that would be a good buy-in point for VXF moving forward. So that's what I see for this chart, kind of a cautionary best buy for right now, but we're waiting just a little bit, maybe just another few days or a week to see where we can have a buy-in point. I think it'll come back to the moving averages, hopefully get above that, and then break out of this double top. A triple top would be a very good thing. I think we could see that moving forward, or getting above that moving forward. Let's go to our next chart, which is EFA, International Markets. Again, International Markets had the best month, kind of intermixed in May. A lot of intermixtion here with EFA. Trend lines are drawn in real good here. Again, we're moving towards the top of our trend line here. We haven't reached it yet. Did have our highest closing high on EFA What does the chart in front of us look like for EFA? Same indicators, long-term charts. What are we seeing? Seeing some like interesting things on this chart, guys. The derivative oscillator is on its way down, so that's negative. The price percentage oscillator is just really keel even here, not really giving us a very good deciding point here on our charts. Again, we are within kind of our limits here, above our moving averages, which is good, but towards the top of this chart, which is not necessarily healthy here. Kind of want to see that more towards the bottom of where a buy-in point would be for this chart. Not as good as VXF or the small caps chart moving forward into June. Need to see something change here before I'm confident into buying EFA for long-term charts. Short-term charts for EFA, did see this do a kind of a fake out here. It was just a 1-bar fake out, not a lot going on there. Again, look at this. Just price is kind of on this 4-hour chart, very short chart, 2 bars for every day for price. Kind of not moving a whole lot, guys. Not seeing a lot of action there for the derivative oscillator. And for the price percentage oscillator, we are above here. Yellow light, not really a good buy. Not really seeing any green lights for the charts for buy-ins for this week, guys. Let's move into our last chart, which is AGG or bonds. This is the F fund for those thrift savings plan folks. As you can see here, charts are really mixed and choppy. Not really seeing any good things here. We are above our shortest moving averages, the 20-day and the 50-day, but we're still way below that 50-day moving average, guys. That's not a place to buy in. Really not seeing any breakouts or anything that great here. Look at this 200-day moving average really starting to move to the downside here. Not a good sign. Not really a good place to have money. Red chart there for sure moving forward. Let's look at it from the technical analysis, though. Weekly charts, what are we seeing for AGG? Not really positive sign here from our derivative oscillator. Look at this, 316, 302, 301. Not really a good sign here. Our price percentage oscillator is above there. Yellow light chart, yellow light chart because we are above here. Not good things here, so that makes us a yellow light. No good buy here for AGG long-term charts. Short-term charts, not a good buy here either, guys. Look at this derivative oscillator. Just slope down here. Price is starting to react to that. No good buy there. Price percentage is starting to move below this. It hasn't done it yet. Yellow light chart. Proceed with caution. Not a good buy-in right now. I think your best bet for our charts, guys, is going to be that VXF. We don't have a buy-in point just yet with that chart. Going to have to give it a couple days. But watch our Facebook and Twitter accounts to see when we buy in. We're looking at possibly buying in towards the back half of this week, trying to get involved in these funds to see where they go from there. Really appreciate you guys watching the channel. One thing we wanted to mention to our thrift savings plans folks out there that Monday is a holiday. Make sure you take time with your family, enjoy it, but markets should be closed, so keep that in mind. If you make transaction moves tonight, those should happen on Tuesday night. Again, this is another top-notch video, guys. As always, we'll show you guys where we are allocated. We're currently in the G fund for those in the thrift savings plan. Roth IRA, folks, we are in cash. Waiting to see a good position open up on the top-notch channel. Like I said, later half of this week possibly. Keep your eyes open and on that VXF or the S fund moving forward. That's another top-notch video. We'll see you guys next time.